The iPhone Air just reshaped what thin and light means in 2025. At only 5.6 millimeters thick and tipping the scale at 165 grams, it pulls off a trick nobody thought possible. Flagship power in something that nearly vanishes in your hand. While everyone else is chasing bezel-less screens and overspec'd cameras, Apple bet on style, comfort, and that unmistakable slip-in-your-pocket magic. But it's not perfect battery life, camera variety, and price raise enough eyebrows that you'll want to compare it. Enter the Samsung Galaxy S25, the quietly perfect everyday flagship that doesn't feel like a brick in your hand. With a 6.2-inch display wrapped in a chassis that feels more compact than most 6-inch phones, sharp Snapdragon 8 Elite performance, and excellent one-hand ergonomics, it finally gives you power and portability. Yes, its battery isn't the largest in the game, and for heavy usage, it demands respect or a charger nearby, but in return, you get access to Samsung's long software support, vivid cameras, and UI polish that makes daily tasks feel effortless. You might be wondering, what's better for you, sleek minimalism or all-round capability? Can Apple's design wizardry beat Samsung's balance of use, features, and durability? Next up, we map out exactly what the compact criteria should be in 2025, and then we'll see which phone in this list nails it best. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this. Let's aim for 100 likes on this video. The iPhone Air, launched in September 2025, doesn't just make headlines because it's Apple's thinnest phone ever at 5.6 millimeters and 165 grams. It forces buyers to rethink what compact truly means. Is it thickness? Or screen size? Or how it handles? When a 6.5-inch screen feels lighter than your old phone, form factors shift. Experts are already praising its 6.5-inch Super Retina OLED with 120Hz refresh and peak brightness and the thousands of nits visuals that rival heavyweights, while still feeling minimal in the hand. Now take the Galaxy S25. With a 6.2-inch dynamic LTPO AMOLED display, 120Hz refresh rate, and peak brightness of around 2600 nits, it's delivering flagship specs in a body that measures 146.9 times 70.5 millimeters and weighs just 162 grams. That's barely wider than many 6-inch phones of last year, yet with performance, camera versatility, 50MP main, 12MP ultra-wide, 10MP 3x zoom, and software support that punch well above its size. But yes, it trades off a bit in battery duty when pushed hard. Gaming or 5G video streaming still test its stamina. So here's what you must demand from any compact phone in 2025 if it's going to be more than just small for show. Thickness under to 7.5 millimeters, or folded size if it's a flip divided by folding. Weight under to 170 to 180 grams. Display quality bright enough outdoors, plus high refresh rate. Top-tier chip for performance plus longevity, realistic battery life, not just standby numbers, and camera setup that doesn't force you to settle. Everything else, branding, extras, even fancy features, is secondary. Up next, we'll see how each of my top picks delivers on all these criteria and which ones fail where it counts. The Samsung Galaxy S25 doesn't just whisper compact flagship, it screams it. At only 146.9 by 70.5 millimeters and weighing 162 grams, it matches phones from years past that were praised for being small. With a slender 7.2 millimeters frame and a blazing 6.2-inch AMOLED that climbs to 2600 nits brightness, this is the kind of display you can read in midday sun and scroll smoothly without feeling cramped. But small size doesn't mean small specs. The S25 runs on the Snapdragon 8 Elite, giving snappy performance across apps and games alike. Triple rear lenses, 50MP, ultra-wide, 3x telephoto, deliver versatility. And with IP68 build and Gorilla Glass Victus 2, you get durability that matches its premium price. The trade-offs? Not perfect battery life under sustained heavy use, lags behind larger phones, and charging speed is modest compared to ultra-fast chargers out there. And yet, when you hold it, it feels different. Less phone, more tool. Less effort to slip in your pocket, less fatigue on your hand. But what about iOS options, or phones with even thinner profiles? Coming up, we'll compare this against the latest Apple release, the iPhone Air, and see if the trade-offs around camera, battery, and style shift your priorities. The Apple iPhone Air just dropped, as Apple's slimmest marvel, only 5.6 millimeters thin and tipping the scales at 165 grams. yet packing a 6.5-inch ProMotion OLED display that hits 120 Hz refresh and offers up to 3000 nits peak brightness in harsh daylight. This is the kind of device that feels featherlight in the hand while looking premium in every light. The titanium frame, ceramic shield, 2 glass, and liquid glass finish all scream craftsmanship over bulk. Inside, performance isn't left behind. The Air uses the new A19 Pro chip, paired with 12GB RAM, under the hood power that rivals last-gen Pro-class devices. Photo flexibility is sacrificed a bit. A single 48MP rear lens instead of a full multi-lens setup. Battery is similarly mixed. Everyday use gets you through a full day under moderate load, but heavy gaming or streaming pushes it to its limits. So the question becomes, is that trade-off worth it for you? If style, thinness, and that, how did they make this so light? The factor matter more than multi-lens photography or marathon battery, the Air might be your perfect companion. But when we move on to picks like OnePlus or Galaxy Foldables, you'll see which phones tilt toward utility and which towards statement. The OnePlus 13T turns compact expectations upside down by packing a 6,260 mAh battery into a body with just a 6.32-inch LTPO OLED screen, making it one of the strongest battery performers per cubic centimeter among recent flagships. Reviewers are stunned. This phone outlasts even bigger rivals like the Galaxy S25 in sustained use thanks to its efficient silicon carbon cell design and the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip under the hood. On day-to-day, that huge battery means you won't be scrambling for a charger before dinner, even when tapping out tasks like social media, maps, and streaming. Dual 50-megapixel rear cameras, main plus 2x telephoto, give you sharp images and optical zoom without needing extra lens attachments. Fast 80 watts wired charging zips the battery up quickly, though note, there is no wireless charging and water resistance sits at IP65, so some compromises are baked in. If you think the OnePlus 13T is the best of both worlds, hold that thought. Coming up, we'll show you a phone that trades some of the 13T's endurance gains for ultra-thin profile and style, changing the scale in a different way altogether. The Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE surprises by folding down to a tight footprint 85.1 x 71.9 x 14.9mm when closed, and yet opening up to a 6.7-inch dynamic LTPO AMOLED display that stretches to 2,600 nits peak brightness. The wider cover display at 3.4 inches gives useful glanceable info without forcing you to open it. When folded, it's one of the few phones you can slip into tighter pockets without it bulging or feeling like you're carrying a brick. Under the hood, the platform is solid, Exynos 2400, paired with 8GB RAM with 128 or 256GB storage. The triple camera setup 50MP main, 12MP ultra-wide, and a decent 10MP front shooter makes it more than just a novelty foldable. The battery sits at 4,000 mAh, which holds up for mixed usage but isn't built for marathon screen time. Charging lags behind premium rivals at only 25 watts wired. IP48 rating gives some splash protection, though foldables still can't match the rugged durability of traditional slabs. The Flip 7 FE is the go-to option when you want a phone that transforms form without sacrificing everyday utility. But in just a moment, I'll show you a device that keeps all the compact power without ever folding a phone that bets everything on being pocketable and portable from the get-go. The Google Pixel 9a delivers something rare in 2025, remarkable value without feeling cheap. Priced around $499, it packs the Tensor G4 chip, jumps up to a 6.3-inch OLED display with up to 120 Hz refresh, and cranks peak brightness to about 2,700 nits, all while keeping a body that feels practical if not feather light. Camera performance punches above its price. Its 48MP main sensor and 13MP ultra-wide deliver excellent daytime shots and surprisingly usable low-light photos thanks to Google's software wizardry. AI features like Gemini Assist, voice-labeled speaker recognition, and long-term Android support, 7 years of updates, make this phone feel future-ready. Downsides? Thick bezels compared to premium phones, slower 23 watts charging, and battery life is solid but not best in class under heavy use. If you want something that delivers nearly all the must-haves of a flagship without the premium tax, Pixel 9a might be your best move. But is slightly wider and heavier acceptable to you for that bargain? Coming up, we'll walk through exactly who should pick each phone, matching you to your perfect compact match before we deliver our final verdict. After seeing what each phone brings to the table, the Galaxy S25 comes out ahead for most people. It strikes the best balance of performance, camera power, one-hand comfort, and future-proofing. The iPhone Air wins if you care most about design and lightness, while the OnePlus 13T is your go-to for all-day battery and raw specs. The Flip 7 FE is appealing if folding form matters. The Pixel 9a delivers value without breaking your budget. And if you want more deep dives like this, hit subscribe for more tech content, and with that, I will see you guys in the next one.